Yes, Greg.
Let's make up. What's your topic?
Ice.
Oh, Jesus, I hate you.
Oh, yeah.
Integral or weird?
Both.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
I'm a big fan of ice. And I've always thought it's weird that Colin's not, and it kind of bothers me.
That is the thing. Whenever we go to a restaurant for lunch, Colin will order a Coke, no ice. And then it comes, and inevitably the straw keeps coming out and going all limp on the top, and he's got to shove it back in. There's nothing to hold it there. The surface tension is trying to repel it.
No anchor.
Yeah, ice is totally unnecessary. Like, so the reason I get Coke with no ice is because, have you ever really had a fountain drink at a restaurant that wasn't already cold? What is the point of the ice?
He makes
it's
a great
literally
point.
like 1 in 100 restaurants I go to where the Coke is room temperature because I got it with no ice. Usually it's cold as if there was ice in it already. So you're suffering from the principle of displacement, and you're suffering also from the principle of watering down.
You don't want to water down a Coke.
It was Socrates or Aristotle, I believe, one of those old motherfuckers, that waded into a pool and noticed that when they, when the water level rose and he understood that he was displacing the volume of liquid in the pool. Yeah, I think it was Socrates, but I could be wrong. Someone will let me know. One of them. It doesn't really matter.
Hostile.
Probably.
And
Mona Lisa.
so you're putting ice into a Coke, you're getting less Coke. Now usually that doesn't matter because you can get free refills.
But you get a refill.
But it is sometimes not, depending on where you are.
No, fuck those
and also what
places.
country you're in. But I will say that I'm not so displeased by the displacement as much as I'm displeased by the watering down and the dilution of the perfect mixture of the fountain Coke. Now, what surprises me, Nick, is you're like, oh, I love the fountain Coke. The fountain Coke is the best. Blah, 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 blah. And then you throw a bunch of fucking ice in it, and immediately, you're fucking up the entire chemistry of the fountain Coke that is already cold. And the ice is simply keeping it cold by, how does ice keep it cold? It's not through some sort of, it's not like an exothermic or endothermic reaction. It is the water that is cold melting into the Coke and destroying the essence of it. It isn't, but what I'm saying is it's an exothermic reaction because that's true. That's true. But what I'm saying is that it's not happening with the ice staying the same. It's happening because the ice is melting.
The ice is giving off the cold water.
But the thing is, it's a fact that the colder the drink is, the better. Just period. So you're correct that it comes out cold. I agree with that. But then it's better when it's colder. And you're right that the water kind of fucks with it. But let's all be real, Nick, aside, because you're wrong. Fountain drinks, period, never as good as anything else.
Oh, really? I don't no, that I disagree. Oh my God, I disagree with this completely.
A great fountain beverage is, oh my God, it's an orgasmic experience where you get it and it's got the right base of syrup and the right base of the poppy carbonated water.
Syrup.
No, it's GIF. Anyways, it's got, you get there and you get it and it's awesome and it's sweet and it's amazing and that's what it's about.
I mean, again, I'm not trying to hate on it because I do feel like there are places, McDonald's, that make excellent, reliable fountain beverages where every time it doesn't matter what McDonald's you're at. Do you feel the new robot touch machine is the freestyle machine?
I don't like it.
Those things have issues. Okay. They have issues. They do.
Like it.
I'm gonna
Too
be
complicated.
real. I don't think it's, I like that you get
giant red
options.
ones that have
you hit the
touch screen.
button.
Where I'm like,
those are shit.
Where I'm on a fucking spaceship, like can I just?
But the problem is, it's just all the mixing. I don't like when it's not reliable, and it's not reliable anywhere except for specific places. Like McDonald's has their shit down. They know what the fuck they're doing. But then with the ice and all of that, they're already watered down. The mixture's already off. So I'm like, whatever. I'd rather it be cold because then at least the cold brings back some of the bonus points for making it a perfect drink.
I don't know. I just feel like there comes a time like, how cold do you need it?
As cold as humanly possible.
It just doesn't make like when you turn on the water on cold on the fountain, you just I filled this bottle like 17 times. It's cold enough.
No,
it's plenty cold.
Absolutely not.
I want it to be so cold I can't taste it.
But why?
Like
I don't get this either. As somebody who doesn't even drink that much soda, when I do want a soda, what I do is like when we go to the movies, like when we saw Batman v Superman like a million times, I wanted to treat myself. So I got the cherry Coke. And all I do is it's just I feather the ice thing. Because I want maybe a fifth of it to be like on the bottom.
Too much.
You know what I mean? Just feather. And it goes down there.
Well, no, but then, I mean, it depends on how long, it depends on how quickly you drink the soda. And
No, because I'm with him.
I drink a lot of liquids very
I want it a
quickly.
little bit cold, but I don't understand this desire to have it ice cold unless you've been working out, and we know none of us have been doing that, and then go and get a Coke.
No, why would we? No, I like to get the world's biggest Coke, or Diet Coke rather, when I go to the movies. And I like to suck it down as quickly as possible, but it does take time. And over time, that's where the ice starts to be advantageous. Is when you're through the previews, if you're still sipping that thing, because it goes room temperature fast. It's not like it's frigid in the theater.
Sure.
You're sitting next
Well,
to
it is actually cold.
Well, it's cold enough, but like for Batman v Superman, right? We're all crammed in there,
Sure.
next to each other. Your Coke's right here. It's really close to the body warmth. You're talking about exothermic reactions.
You are talking
Endothermics.
about that.
Love exoskeleton.
Gamma radiation.
Gamma
Your
radiation.
radiation.
Yeah, that stuff's getting warm. And there's nothing on this planet worse than a warm drink of soda. It is disgusting.
Now you understand, of course, Colin Moriarty will buy a 2-liter and it will never see the inside of a fridge.
Well,
Now,
but I buy cold. I don't drink it.
Ice.
But I don't drink it warm. I get it out of a case. That's not true.
But it's going to room temperature quick.
Yeah, it is. But I'm never gonna. First of all, once you crack the seal of a 2-liter, you have 2 to 3 hours max, and then it's done. It's over. I don't care how you drank 1 cup of it. I don't care. I've
seen him out the next morning. There's like just a cup out of that 2-liter, and I put it back in there, and a week later, it's
This
still
whole
there.
conversation stresses me out.
I don't like 2 liters are the worst because you don't have it is a ticking time bomb. The minute you fucking twist that cap off and you hear that, you have 2-3 hours max, and then that Coke is
You know
finished.
you're supposed to screw the top back on.
No,
when
you do.
you're
It doesn't
pouring
matter. Doesn't matter. It's over.
Totally matters.
It's totally over. It's like when you drop a Coke too hard and like it's finished even before you open it. Like you ever do that where the Coke gets so tense, like you can feel the bottle, you can barely squeeze it, and you can be very patient, but even then, it's never the same.
It's not.
It's never the same.
It becomes fountain Coke.
Now, let me ask you a quick question about exothermic energy. Wouldn't it be exothermic if the ice only stayed the same? So it's exothermic even if the ice melts into water?
Isn't it a perspective thing where if you're looking at it?
Do you think either of them know what the fuck they're talking about on this one?
I mean, they both know a little bit, and they're trying to bring it together.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Am I talking to your mic?
The water.
The energy is being transferred from one thing to the other, right? Exothermic. But it's not happening. It's happening because of the melting water is literally mixing with the Coke. It's not that the energy from the ice cube is going into
No. It's the ice cube's coldness is going into the warmth of the Coke, and then also the opposite.
So, like, my main problem with ice a lot of times is that you'll get ice that tastes bad. I hate the ice that's disgusting.
That's
Also, it was Archimedes.
that's a whole other
Archimedes.
issue.
Thank you.
That
But it's
bothers
part
me.
of the ice issue. You
I
never
get
know what
it.
you're going to get.
I
It's the
get-
same problem with
There's
the
so many
beverages.
issues with all of this because then we get to like what type of ice are we talking about? You know, we got those big old bourbon ices.
Oh,
My good
the King
Lord.
Cubes?
I love those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Those things are great because they take a while to melt.
Yeah.
But then there's these there's the cubes, which honestly I don't really like the cubes. It's too hard, especially
Out of a tray?
I like filling the cup with the ice.
Yeah.
And I drink Coke and I get the refills fast enough that it's like I don't really have the watered down issue because I just fucking suck that shit down. Hopefully, the lady's back already. She refills that shit, suck that shit down. It's never an issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then when you talk about the cubes, you fill that shit up. If you put a straw in, it's hard for the straw to kind of navigate through all the big ass cubes. And that causes an issue because then if you get a break in the straw, you're going to be sucking. You can't get the maximum speed.
Well,
That's
I mean,
gonna
just
an
don't be
issue.
an idiot and don't stab that hard would be the answer.
Yeah, I hate when people are like,
No, but
Like,
but
you know,
I'm
jacking
not
that
talking
thing in
about that.
there.
I'm talking about like when it's trying to navigate through all the ice.
Yeah, I know. And I'm saying
even then,
I can't.
straws are sensitive.
I
Greg.
don't think I've ever broken a straw because I've hit ice.
Yeah, but you don't have enough ice.
have.
That's the issue. You're
Yeah,
not
you're
doing
only.
it
I
right.
mean, you've already admitted that you don't put a lot of ice in your sodas. So
But I
I'm
mean,
with
there's
Tim here
been
where
years where I had to get to that point where you get the paper cup and the shitty ice and you get it and you're chewing on this ice and it's all disgusting. I know what
Well,
I'm
yeah,
talking
no,
about.
I mean, I'm with everyone. I think we can all agree that when the ice is not filtered properly, it can actually screw up the drink, and that is hazardous. That's one of the hazards of using ice. But I'm with Tim. I like to get it so where when I'm looking at the cup, you can see the ice just poking up over it, and then fill that because inevitably, it's going to melt it a little bit the second the fountain beverage hits it because the fountain beverage isn't ice cold. It's not coming out the temperature of ice.
no, it's not coming
You know
out to
what I mean?
temperature ice, but do you need it to be so cold?
Yes, because
Because it's cold when it comes out, and it's
because it
so
will
very cold when you put ice in it.
Eventually, even out to a relatively cold soda. But if you don't put the ice base in there, like it depends on how long where you're at too. If you're just grabbing a quick soda, you're running down the street, you suck it down. Maybe not. But if you're gonna enjoy your meal, you're having a burger, you're having fries, you're enjoying your conversation with Tim Gettys, you're staring into his baby blues, and you pick up that Coke, and you know from the second your clammy hand hits that warm cup that you're just gonna engulf a fucking warm swallow of soda into your mouth.
But how
and then
long is it
immediately
sat there?
Spit it back up onto your fucking crotch. You just don't want to do it, man.
It's an issue, man. And this is my biggest problem with Asian food. I love Asian food, Chinese food, Japanese food, Thai food, Vietnamese
Stoked to see
food,
where this is going.
all of those things.
I know exactly where it's
I
going.
love these
I know
foods.
exactly where it's
They're
going.
the fucking best foods, right?
Farm.com,
But
sure.
guess what? Every single night, every single goddamn night, when Kevin's like, Tim, what do you want to eat tonight? And I'll say anything. It's never an Asian food. And he gets so mad at me. Why? Why is it not an Asian food? Because these Asian places only have Coke cans, and then they give you the goddamn little ass cup with a bunch of ice in it. And you're like, well, this is only going to last me so long. Great. You're giving me the room temperature Coke? This ice ain't enough. I need Sub-Zero to come through. I need Mr. Freeze to come through.
But if you're getting the
and
little
fucking
cup
freeze
and you're
this
pouring it
shit
in there and
first.
you're sucking it down so fast, that seems like a good
But
solution.
The ice isn't even enough. That's my problem with ice. Like going back to it, I love ice. I think ice is the homie, but ice needs to step it up when it comes to making room temperature shit cold. Like
You want
why?
it faster. You need super ice.
I
You're
need it to
asking
be
for
colder.
super
It needs
ice.
to be. I need super ice.
When you go to stir it, so you get the exothermic reaction.
Well, that's
Now-
when the gentrification of the ice.
right. You can't gentrify the ice.
You gotta gentrify the ice,
Yes.
as far as I understand. Now, ice has a place, and the place for ice is, of course, cocktails. Now, here is where you want an ice cold beer. That's a different thing. Of course, you don't put ice in beer unless you're
You just want it out of the ice box.
putting
cold.
Bud Light over ice,
there are
which someone
some-
at this table does.
If I'm not mistaken, though, there's places in Europe where they do drink warm beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is a
Cask,
thing, right?
cask beers.
Yeah, they do a lot of things in Europe.
Okay.
But but
The subtext in that statement was like cherry. Thank you for that.
But when we're making a cocktail, like Eric Castro always says, the cocktail when you're mixing it doesn't become a cocktail until it hits ice, like and you mix it like in like the beaker or whatever.
Sure.
Then he's like, so an old fashioned doesn't really become an old fashioned until it hits the ice and you mix it and then you pour it over ice. So there is something there, like you want some of the melt in that. That is part of what makes the cocktail the cocktail. The balance of the old fashioned is complicated with Engo and with which is bitters, and with simple syrup, because it's not about how it tastes when you're making it, it's how it tastes after you mix it. It's the mixing and how long you mix it and at what temperature is like part of the equation.
Right.
So that's a more complex thing. But with fountain drinks, see, I've gained it's the small pleasures in my life, Nick. And one of the things I used to really enjoy, and I don't know if they do it anymore because I don't really go to McDonald's anymore, as Kevin likes to go, is
McDonald's.
that they have the little presets.
Oh, yeah.
And they, so I get the muscle memory of like, you're going to dip it in and put it up, right? And so half time I'm like, this is not the thing I enjoy. I'm like, no ice. And I'm like, oh yeah. And they dump it out and they just do it. And then they hit the button and it never fills up to where it should be. And then they take, because it's expecting there's going to be some displacement.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, got you, motherfuckers. And then they have to go and do those kinds of things again. And I'm like, you should be worrying about people like me, the minority, that don't want ice in their food or in their drinks. But it goes a step further. The greater pleasure I take is when I go out to restaurants, and we've all been there with me, where I say, no, I order first and I'm like, Coke, no ice. And then every subsequent person is asked if they want ice in their drink.
And it's
but
the worst
otherwise, they would never
because-
ask you.
I know, and they always fuck it up. You're that guy. You're the guy that ruins my dreams of them coming through with the fucking big ass cup of ice and the refills on point. No, because then they're like, oh, well, that guy didn't want ice. Maybe the rest of the group like doesn't really want that much ice. So then they give me minimal ice, and I'm like, great.
You really gotta start
ruined the
ordering
ice
last.
thing for the rest
You
of
gotta
us.
start ordering last. That's just the nature of the beast.
Well, and speaking of Europe, as far as I understand in my time there, I've been to Europe only 3 times, they don't put ice in their drinks there.
No.
God, I don't want to go.
And
I'm never
actually,
going to Europe.
this is part of the reason why I have such a love affair with ice, because the first time I went to Italy,
And such a hatred for Europe.
there's that as well. When you go, you'll ask for a Coke and it comes out warm. They'll serve a lot of things warm. Not only will they do that, but like milk will be served warm in cereal. Like they have like warm breakfast cereal,
Well, that's your own fault. Don't be eating cereal with milk.
but they don't put. What should I drink?
You don't just in a cup by itself.
Just handhold
Dry.
that motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
The cup in your mouth, and you kind of like a little.
And then
drop.
just some of it spills out onto my beer.
No,
and it
you
stays there
don't.
all
You
day.
get one of the good Shakespeare's cups I got out there. You pack that in. You ask for the cereal in that on travel, and you can pull the sides in like that, and it's like you're a horse.
I don't want to go down this road, but I will. There's nothing better than ice cold milk in cereal.
You're a
There's
fucking
just
stupid idiot.
Nothing better.
There's
Ice
nothing
cold
I'm
better.
hard. I'm
Oh.
fucking hard
Put the
now.
milk,
Thanks,
refrigerated
Nick.
milk.
Put the milk in the fucking freezer
Oh,
and wait
no.
until right when it's slush.
Oh,
Put that thing into
You're
the,
disgusting.
into the Lucky
You are
Charm.
disgusting.
fuck.
No, it needs to be cold. It doesn't have to be ice cold, but it
I
has
don't
to
want
be
slush.
really cold.
Portillo, come here.
Really cold milk. You can't leave the milk out. I don't want the milk that's been sitting out at Starbucks for a while. I'm going to pour that in. No, it needs to be the back of the fridge. very, very cold. If it's going on my Lucky Charms, only the best for my Lucky Charms.
Hey, I'm
Throwing
right
that
there
out
with
there.
you, man. I wish there was a milk ice. That would be really nice.
You could.
Somebody
You
get
can
the
freeze
fuck
that.
on this shit.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
could
don't
just put
trust
it.
that though.
Actually,
I don't
hold
trust
on.
that.
No. This just it was a thing on Reddit the other day that the new Finding Dory cereal or the tie-in, whatever
Yeah.
they're doing with it, is, and this is going to disgust everyone at the table. That's not you two. Is that they have it where they're giving you a Dory mold where you pour the milk into it, lock it in, put it in the freezer, and then you pop out a frozen Dory that you dump into your cereal. So then when you're eating, there's a fun little milk frozen motherfucker in there for you to find. This sounds like something you'd enjoy.
Interesting. I actually would like that.
It's gross.
You know what
That's
that
gross.
reminds
I
me
don't
of
know how
though?
I
Do you
feel
remember
about
in maybe it was the late 80s, early 90s, a product came out onto the market that was a plastic ice cube. So it had liquid in the middle of it. You'd put it in the back, and then
What a great idea! And you got it, and just everything tastes like plastic.
Yeah, everything was
You got the-
plastic,
you
and
got
it
the-
didn't actually transfer the cold into the drink at all.
My parents had probably my urging, so I'm not blaming them. My
Exothermically.
parents had those cups, those plastic cups that had the water.
In it, yeah.
and then the regular cup, and you put it in there, and then inevitably
leak.
3 weeks in, you're like, oh god, like I can taste the. Oh god, like am I getting sick?
I clearly remember drinking like half of the liquid out of that one of those when I was drinking out of a lemonade or something one day
Good Lord.
in 1989 or
Ice,
whatever it was.
I honestly though, like to really kind of reiterate, ice is the homie. I'm so happy that it's in my life. Like from the time I was a little kid, I realized I like cold drinks. I
Right.
like ice. It always makes things better. I like chewing on ice. Big
Yeah,
fan
chewing
of
on
that.
ice is good.
I do that all the time.
See, that's another bonus to the movie theater ice. Like the big fountain beverage with ice is when you're done with it. If you don't want more, you can be like in the hospital when sometimes you have an illness and they
You
can't
have the
give
ice
you water.
chips.
You get the ice chips. You got ice there, so you can chew on the ice for the rest of the thing. And a guy like me who has to pee a lot, that will extend out. Maybe I can get through the second act before I have to go
Because you're
to the
chewing.
bathroom.
I mean, we didn't even really talk about it, but there's the ice cubes. There's the
Yeah,
ice.
I was gonna say King Cube #1,
Okay.
squarish cubes.
Those
Number
Those are
one for me.
low. I
Number
don't like the
two,
square cubes.
I hate the little the banana ones like that.
The giblets.
Oh yeah, giblets.
The
No,
pellets,
no.
all this ice.
Pellets are good.
Garbage.
Pellets are great.
Fuck yeah.
Garbage
Pellets are
ice.
fucking awesome.
Nobody
Never
that
had
shit
the pellets.
that's
You've never had
fucking
pellets.
that is going that's
Not pellets like
totally
this.
melting
There's-
out.
no.
The crushed ice is garbage.
Well, crushed
the
ice-
worst is when you go to somebody's house and you put you put it in the thing and it pulls out of the ice it was gonna get and it's just like this fucking snow fucking
no, no,
blow
no.
shit
Crushed ice
garbage.
bullshit.
Crushed ice needs
The
to go.
crushed ice is bullshit. But I'm going to come to the defense of the pellet ice for one setting and one setting only.
Coolers.
When you're at a Mexican restaurant and you order the horchata, Kevin, am I saying that right? Horchata. Anyway, I went to Nick's Crispy Tacos and I ordered horchata and they give it to you with the pellets. Oh my god, it's like a half frozen milkshake.
It's great.
It's
Those
so
things-
good. Oh,
So fucking good. And the other thing about ice that I really enjoy was being little, take my action figures, putting them in cups, filling them with water, freezing those motherfuckers. Then they're in carbonite.
Okay,
There's a whole
that's cool. That's
storyline,
cool. I
plot
like that.
element
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. And then the toys are never the same after that.
I
But-
remember Iceman
Largely 'cause they're made of
specifically, and I can't believe I know this because I collected X-Men figures for a while. When I was like in the early 90s, remember Iceman came with a little board, like his but you could fill it with water, then put it in the freezer, and then take him at like it was a little indent. You were supposed to be able to. He was like standing on real ice. You'd be able to push him, but you just push him, and he would just fall down. So we're like,
Was
who
the
came up
ice
with these
supposed to,
fucking?
But in the
lubricate
commercial,
the
look
ground?
really
Yeah,
dope.
it's okay.
That makes sense.
I will say, so to me, I think ice is like, if we're up to me, people that put excessive amounts of ice in things should probably go to prison.
Interesting.
But or at least really be rehabilitated in some way.
Rehabilitated is where you start.
Cold. It's real cold.
And people talk about how global warming's bad, and it is, but like at least eventually we won't be able to
melting
the ice won't be around anymore. Which is the rising sea levels and Long Island's gonna disappear and all that kind of stuff.
don't like
it's fine. You're
saying you'll take all of that as long as the ice goes away.
Right. In reality, winter's my favorite, and I love really cold weather and all that kind of stuff, and the snow and ice. I just feel like we're getting too involved with putting ice and everything. Not everything needs to be this cold.
I just hate the gamble of ice. We're like we have a good thing going right now with those king cubes in the freezer, but there's a couple ice trays in there that make the ice taste bad. I get bad tasting ice. I don't want that. I don't want to run that risk.
Are you using the filtered water for the ice?
No,
'Cause
only
should.
you two use the filter.
It makes it taste better.
That filter hasn't been changed in
Nah, I changed it.
I changed it a month ago.
no.
It has a little red light that like beeps at you. You can actually
It
taste
gets really
I want to throw that whole thing out.
No, we need the filter.
I'm gonna throw it out.
You're disgusting.
Well, we're gonna be gone in like a month.
I'm gonna throw it
But
away.
your water it's not bad, but
That's
it does
fine.
have a particular taste to it.
Deliciousness.
I think I'm
And I
just used
think
to
it
it.
tastes a little bit like rust and zinc. I'm just throwing that out
You
there.
need a little rust. We all have our tetanus shot. Rust is fine.
I haven't had a tennis shot. And I'm a daredevil. I like to play Portello all the time. Bite me.
Oh, dog.
Come on, you little fucker.
Now, I just feel like
If
I don't know.
they're
I feel like
rapping.
that we have to recalibrate the need for ice.
Oh, is that
And
rust?
I feel
That's
like
rust.
the Europeans, they don't do almost anything right. But they do the thing with with no ice very well. I appreciate being over there, and and they say, you have to ask for ice, and they look at you like you're weird, I'm like, well, of course I don't. I'm one of you, is what I say over there when I'm in Europe. When in Rome. And by the way, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't get mad at me. I'm only kidding about Europeans not doing anything right. You guys do some things right.
If we didn't have ice, we
like
wouldn't
surrender?
have vanilla ice. We wouldn't have ice cube.
Kidding.
We wouldn't have iced tea.
We'd have these people. They would have different names.
Yeah, but think about that, Greg. Think about how stupid you sound right now. What would vanilla ice be if he wasn't vanilla ice?
Vanilla hot dog.
He'd just be vanilla.
It's just vanilla. Great.
He'd probably be vanilla snow because he would just be cold, right? Like I'm assuming that's where Vanilla Ice's name
The
came
song
from.
Ice
You're
Ice
cold.
Baby.
Yeah.
Would just be baby.
No, again,
That's not
because
worth
it would
it.
just be replaced. It would be
Hot dog, baby.
Ding, 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 ding,
All right,
ding.
stop. Put some fucking relish on my hot dog.
All right, I don't think you talked to
Yeah,
the
good.
ice.
Relish sucks dick, by the way. We can talk about that another day.
God, relish. I love relish.
No, you don't. Would you say you relish it?
I do relish.
I was thinking it, but you said it, and I appreciate that.